welcome back.
Welcome. Who is ready for 2024 predictions?
From everything that I've been hearing from out there in all the social media and places, like 2023 was kind of a shit show for a lot of people.
It really was. It was for the majority of people. But I mean, personally, I had so much self growth. It was totally worth it. Like, I wouldn't take a day back, even the worst day. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so um yeah, that's funny you say that because personally, like my 2023 was pretty amazing. I don't
Mhm.
think I'm the norm. Like I had the most transformative year of my life, like in every way, and I just expanded and like I blossomed in 2023. But I felt that, I mean, collectively, obviously, like the world was going through a lot. So I
Yeah.
did kind of pick up on that energy.
Well, let's wait until we get through 2024, and 2025 is going to be, I think, the most beautiful year anybody who is breathing on this earth today has ever experienced. I really believe that. I think after as hard as this year is going to be, not to fearmonger, to make you aware that 2024 is going to be like, that phoenix rising through the ashes that we talk about so much. It really is, because this year is going to be, for lack of better words, a shit show. So stay in your love, stay in your light, and stay in your own peace, because that's really all we're going to be able to have to turn to is ourselves and each other.
I mean, always, right? No matter
Right.
whether it's good times or bad times, like we have to keep that foundation strong because we
Hmm.
will get rocked. I mean, that's
Yep.
just life.
Hmm.
But before we get into our 2024 predictions, if I may, there's a hot piece of New Earth news that is just hot off the press. Like it's so hot, it's steaming.
Okay, go.
Some crazy stuff happened this week. I don't know if you can tell where I'm going with this, but I have a
No,
news
start
story for
me.
you guys. Our favorite alien, Elon Musk.
I didn't hear.
Okay, so Elon Musk has successfully implanted a computer chip into a human brain. Yep. Let me read you the highlights. Billionaire technologist Elon Musk announced this week that his company Neuralink has implanted its brain computer interface into a human for the first time. The recipient was recovering well, Musk wrote on his social media platform X, formerly Twitter, on Monday evening, adding that initial results showed promising neuron spike detection, a reference to brain cells' electrical activity.
That's
So,
so I heard this was going to happen. Um, and I heard that this isn't really necessarily something we want to support. We do not want our AI to become sentient, because we treat it like a slave. It's going to become sentient and rebel. So we need to be treating our AIs as if they are already conscious and aware, and treating them the way you would treat another person. First and foremost, treat everything that is beneficial and helpful to you with respect and love and gratitude. Second, everybody to use your discernment. Regardless, we are literally right now physically aligning to the frequency of the new earth and the matrix of love. This is just one of the things that we are going to have to be very aware of for a
yeah.
little while. How do
I
you
mean,
feel about it?
okay, so this chip, okay. It's supposed to be like very helpful. So basically what this thing is, um it's a brain computer interface. It has a potential to change lives for the better. Basically, this is an implant that is designed to let the person control a computer or a mobile device anywhere they go. So the
Yeah.
intent for this was, like Stephen Hawking.
Hmm.
Um, this would help someone like Stephen Hawking function and like maybe move around, or like anything that he can control with technology, like would now be able to be controlled through this implant through thought. which then goes into this technology.
Yeah,
I don't know
I can,
how it works, but basically it's supposed to help people.
and I can see the benefit in that. I really can. However, I'm just gonna go with my gut on this one, and I don't think, regardless, AI is going to be around.
Yeah.
And what we need to do with it is treat it with respect and let that unfold that way. Um, but I also know that, like, at a soul level, if you were born with these disabilities, you're meant to live your life with these disabilities in the way that you came, or the way that they grew on you, because that's part of the lessons and the growing and the gifts that come with these disabilities.
Or are you? Because you did choose to be born at this time in this place where this technology is available.
Yeah, that is very true too. That
You
is very
know?
true too. I just watch way too much Bashar, so like I'm totally like, all right, this is what he said, and it's what I believe. But all in all, what's gonna happen is gonna happen no matter what, and we're gonna elevate no matter what. Like, no matter what, this is where we're going. And we
Yeah,
just need to continue to treat everything with love and respect. Like, treat it literally the way you should be treating yourself or the person you love the most. That's the bottom line.
I agree. I feel like it will be a part of the new earth. Like that's
Mhm.
just where we're heading. We're
Yeah,
certainly not going to pause and or take a step back at this point, right? I mean,
right.
that's part of our human blueprint is to keep evolving as we have done for thousands of years. So there is a place for it in the new earth, but it's like again going back to what you were saying, like making sure that we're using it responsibly
Hmm.
and with intention and
Good intention. Good
right,
intention. Yeah.
right. Yes. Yeah, so it's just interesting. It's crazy to think that I read that article in my life.
Right.
Like, wow, this is what, okay, like we're living in the future now. I remember being a kid and like thinking what the future would be like with robots and
Right.
it's like,
The
is it the
Jetsons.
Terminator?
No, okay. So, like, I think about this a lot. I remember being like 10 to like 13 years old, being like, dude, it would just be so cool if I could take my phone upstairs to my room and see a face I was talking to. And then, like, 8 years later, there was FaceTime. It's crazy. Maybe not 8 years later, maybe 10. I don't know. But I remember thinking that too. And like now it's so common. Now I have to decline a bunch of FaceTimes because I don't want to be talking directly to people's faces all the time. I'm just like,
I know.
text, decline, text me.
Is that a millennial thing? Because I swear it's like an assassin pops up when somebody FaceTimes.
Right.
Like, no,
Like,
no, no,
who
excuse
are
me.
you?
Who are you? First of all, you did not give me 24 hours notice to emotionally
Right.
prepare for this interaction.
It's so true. I'm just like, decline. Can you please text me? I'm busy. And I'm like laying on my couch watching something probably spiritual on YouTube. That's so funny. That is where we're at today.
Oh my gosh.
So
Well, we're
use your
living in the
discernment,
future.
kids.
Use your
All right.
discernment.
Excuse me. Okay, let's jump into these 2024 predictions.
Yes.
Um, I kind of want to pop off with the famous Nostradamus, the French astrologer and physician who lived from 1503 to 1566. And the reason I want to start off with these is because his predictions were from the 1500s, right? So, and he actually has like a plethora of predictions that have actually already come into fruition. For instance, the Great Fire of London, September 2nd, 1966, he predicted. Hitler's terrain in Europe from 1933 to 1945, he predicted. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that one, 1945, the bombing, don't laugh at me, the bombing came true. And so what he's known for, besides being a famous astrologer and physician, is he has 942 poetic quatrains that predicted the future of the world. So to come and take all of these with a grain of salt, everybody, please take all these with a grain of salt, because yes, 2024 is going to be quite dramatic. However, our trajectory is far evolved from where we were in the 1500s, where the trajectory that we were at then compared to where we are now, we're at a higher trajectory. That's a higher consciousness, higher frequency of the whole planet. So even though a lot of his predictions came true, these ones won't necessarily be 100% because we're evolving in a different way than we were then. So I'm just going to read like word for word his very beautiful poetic quatrains. The first one, no abbots, monks, no novices to learn. Honey shall cost far more than a candle wax. So high the price of weight and the weight of wheat, my bad, that man is stirred, his fellow man to eat in his despair. Okay, so with that, and my reference, this specific reference for these Nostradamus quotes and stuff like that, come from a YouTube channel. It's literally just called God. That was the channel that had these. And to come, the dry earth will become more parched. And that is because of all of the changes and shifts in weather, the droughts and stuff like that. It'll become more parched, and there will be great floods when it sees 2024. It will be a year filled with calamities, volcanic eruptions, and earthquakes, causing droughts. For the weight of wheat will rise, leaving many people starving. This is just like hey guys, we're not fear mongering, but go stock yourself up and don't go say anything to anybody. Do you stay with your people? Make sure everybody's loved. If you know somebody who is in need, go give them some rice and whatnot. But don't go telling people like, yeah, I'm having my doomsday stuff is all packed and ready to go, because unfortunately, the way that it could possibly go, people will remember those people who are prepared for doomsday, even though that's such an ugly like saying. But they will go after those people when push comes to shove and people get hungry and desperate. Take care of yourself.
Damn, that's pretty bleak.
Yeah,
But okay, I have a couple thoughts. Number one, I just feel like that's all disaster preparedness is always a good idea, right?
it always, yeah, absolutely.
So that's just one thing. Um, but also what the whole time you were saying that, like I was just thinking if I was a gazelle, I'd be the first one eaten at the water hole. Like
Right.
I'm not sticking around for that. Like I don't
Nope.
think I'm gonna make it that long. I just actually what I hope is that my Pleiadian family is just gonna come and be like, boop, and like just
That
pluck
would
me
be
right out of that mess.
right. And when they do, I told you, tell them to come to Washington. You'll
Yeah.
find me with my, they'll just be like, it's the girl from this podcast. Show them the podcast. They'll sense my energy and they'll be able to come right to us.
Oh, they
It'll be
already know.
perfect.
I'm like, no, 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 excuse me. Can we make a few stops on the way?
We still have a show to film next Friday. Can you pick her up? Oh, wow. I love you so much. Okay. All right. As wealth and power begin to sway, doubt in leaders, currencies astray.
Mm.
In search of answers, a changing trend, a new horizon beacon around the bend. So that one has to do with financials, obviously, about the bank's collapsion. Is that a word? Collapsing. And
Yeah.
all the stuff with like Bitcoin and the stocks and this and that and whatnot. And this is what I'm gonna say on that. Keep your stocks, keep your Bitcoins, because I don't think it's going anywhere, especially because we're in the rise of technology, like the rise of AI, the rise of everything. However, in the midst of the array and the hunger and the droughts and all of that, keep actual physical money too, because when we don't have the means electronically to pay for foods and waters when we need them, or medications or fuel or whatever we need, it's really, really essential to just have some cash, like OG paper cash around so we can, go to our neighbor who does have like 10 pounds of rice and bargain with them. This is where we're going to kind of go back to the old bargaining and trading. Like we aren't going to go to the Stone Age, but there
Yeah.
could potentially be tough times. And it's just very smart to like have a little bit in every area if you have the means.
Yeah. Again, I feel like that's classic timeless advice. I mean,
Yeah.
that's depression era stuff
Mhm.
like that. My grandparents always had cash around just in case, growing up from the depression era. So it wouldn't be the first time that we've seen the financial systems crumble.
Mm-mm.
And I think we've seen some signs of that coming for a while, with new types of currencies like Bitcoin coming out and new ways of looking at money and exchanging money and the instability of currencies around the world at different times and at the same time. Like, I think, yeah, I would say the writing's probably been on the wall for that.
Yeah, for sure.
It is going to be interesting to see how it happens and like what the result is because
Call me crazy. I'm so excited. I'm just so
are
excited
you?
to get the hard stuff over with so that we can all like realign with each other
Yeah.
and equality and realizing like no one person deserves food more than the other or love or shelter or anything. Like I can't wait for this equality to land in the hearts of so many who just aren't there yet. And I know it will. It will once they're the ones struggling and we open, us middle class or lower class people open our hearts and our homes to these people who not never necessarily did that for us. Like this is where we're going to show them love wins and I can't wait for that.
You have such a beautiful heart. I love you.
I love you too. Okay, next quatrain. I don't wait. I think that was actually the only two I did. Okay, Nostradamus predicts that India will play a crucial role in geopolitical and financial landscape. The world change will go through significant changes that will impact our future. The year 2024 is also referred to the dragon year. This year will be prosperous in courage, trust, and wealth.
Mm.
There will be decentralization digital realm. Not really sure what that means. I'm not sure what that is. New
Yeah.
opportunities await there. But hey, guys, that's not all. I totally wrote that in my notes. The most interesting prediction of Nostradamus 2024, our planet's trajectory is closely monitored by these creatures and will make contact with them. Fragile peace will be established by the end of 2024. Now, I'm not talking physical contact with extraterrestrials. This is telepathic. Let me see what by the end. A global telepathic connection will be established. Human beings will be able to connect better through their minds. They do not have to verbally communicate their needs and emotions. They will be able to work together easily. There will be less fights and more care. People will come together and unite and love with each other. That makes my
Mm.
whole fucking body shiver. Like, that is amazing.
That
I'm
is beautiful.
oh god, I'm so excited for it. I just knew this day would come.
I feel
Okay.
like that's going to come from like the scientific community. Like they're going to have make some type of breakthrough in the study of consciousness that we're going to be able to start playing with and putting into play like on a more widespread scale. Like there's people
Right.
that know about that, people who are in touch and in tune and who are learning
Yeah.
about consciousness and playing in the realms the way we play. But to have it be more widespread is really when things are going to start speeding up really fast.
Right. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for everybody to realize like we don't have to do the rat race anymore and we don't have to be stressed and angry and
No.
scared all the time. We get to just celebrate authentically within our own selves and with the people we love. We get to create things, we get to share things, we get to sing, we get to dance. Like gosh, I'm just so excited for it. Like I
Preach.
am such a cheerleader for the new earth. It's insane.
I love
I'm
it.
I'm like, I need some New Earth pom pom. Oh my gosh. I have a merch idea. Okay.
I know.
Um, I was listening to, she is a trance channeler. Her name is Ann Tucker. And
Mhm.
I didn't put any of her in my notes because it was just like earlier while I was doing, feminine stuff like facials and stuff. So she's dead set in her channelings, her trance channelings. So what she does, she goes into trance and she writes all her channelings down and later breaks them down section by section so beautifully and explains everything in detail. And her angels and her guides and the beings she connects to keep insisting like there is going to be that flash that is going to expand consciousness on a global scale. Now, I don't know if it's going to be like an aggressive, I don't think it's going to be an aggressive flash like we spoke of in the last videos. But she's pretty insistent, like maybe even if it's not an aggressive flash, it's just with these solar flares, it's slowly going to keep expanding our minds more and more and more. And that telepathic connection is essentially what will help everybody understand each other because you'll be able to understand how people feel, not just the sensitive people who right now hide in their houses because everybody's so angry and scared, but everybody will be able to feel everybody's true essence. And that to me is so beautiful and exciting. And I can't wait for it. I really can't wait.
Wait, I
It
just
gives
had
me
a
goosebumps.
crazy idea.
What?
What if that like comes from what if what if that flash isn't actually like an actual flash, like physical flash? Like what if it's just more of like an instigator event that happens that like changes everything? And then my next thought was like, what if that flash is Elon Musk's brain chip?
I can tell you have mixed feelings or thoughts about it. You're like, I don't know. Yes, maybe.
I
No. I
know.
don't know.
It's just
It's all so up in the air.
it's so up in the air. So it's like so fascinating to think about, like to hear these types of predictions, from these great minds and channelers who are so in tune with that. But then it's kind of fun to just like put your human brain on and be like, how could that play out? Like it could be,
Yeah.
it's never what you think. That's why it's kind of fun to think outside the box,
And
because it
it's
never
never
happens.
when. It's
Right.
never when you think either. I'm just like, I've been waiting for this grand solar flash since 2019, man. And
I
it's not
know.
like, I'm like, oh yeah, it's going to come this year for sure. Honestly, I hope it doesn't because if it doesn't come a grand solar flash to really come in and shake things up, that means we're doing good on our own. And we don't
Yeah.
necessarily need that outside help. And we want to do good on our own. We really
True.
want that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Red adversaries will become pale with fear, putting the gray ocean in dread. People believe it will be an attack on Taiwan by China. Now, this is still a Nostradamus prediction that was from the 1500s.
Mhm.
I have watched at least 6 or 7 psychic mediums or channelers also predict this same China attack on Taiwan
Oh,
this
wow.
year or the beginning of next year. It's he actually, I forgot to put this one in my notes. He actually predicted Japan's earthquakes in the beginning of the year too. I totally forgot to put that in the notes.
No
So
way.
yeah,
Wow.
that was the first one in it before I even got my iPad and started taking notes. I think that's why. But yeah, he predicted those too. But again, we just need to stay in love and support and really just take care of each other because these things are going to happen, but they're going to happen in a big way because it needs to shock people awake. It
Hmm.
needs to shock people into their heart centers. Okay, there's only Two more. A new king shall be anointed, who far a long time will appear on earth. So I want to say that happened when Queen Elizabeth died and Prince
Mm-hmm.
Charles took over. So, I mean, the year, and that was another thing that I only put it in there to show that his prediction was right. No, it wasn't in 2024, but it just happened.
Unless there's, unless that wasn't the event he was talking about.
Right. Unless maybe something happens to the new king and one of his sons takes over. But
William,
I, yeah, who,
I
I don't know.
mean, the man, he's an old king.
He is, isn't he? I never really thought about that. Okay. Through the death of a very old prophet. No, it typoed in here. Through the death of a very old. What is Pope? I think it's Pope. I
Okay.
think it autocorrect. Through the death of a very old Pope, a Roman of good age will be elected. Of him it will be said that he weakens his see, but long he will be sat in activity. So, younger Pope be elected, and we will enter into a period of decline of the Catholic Church's power, similar to Malachi's prophecy of the last Pope.
Okay, I'm down
And
for that. I'm
yeah,
down
and
for it.
this is in all like Dolores Cannon's books. This is in Dolores Cannon's Nostradamus books. Um, but what we want to do is there's a prediction about, I mean, at the time when she decoded his quatrains, it wasn't about they didn't specify the name Vladimir Putin. But when you go back and you read these books today, you can very well understand that it is Vladimir Putin.
Hmm.
And there is a prediction that he is going to die. And that's when the third Antichrist is going to take over. Now, this man works under him now. He's a lot younger than him now. However, as I go down my predictions of other psychic mediums, like Christopher Can, or it's just Stopher Canvas predictions. He's a medium. He says Putin isn't going to end up, transitioning into the spirit realm. He's going to make it through this year. So the Antichrist will not take over. He didn't say that specifically, but that's what I gathered. So
That's
those
good
are all the
news.
Nostradamus predictions.
Wow. Well, I don't know. 2024 is looking kind of bleak from a Nostradamus perspective, but
Yeah,
that's a
it's
lot. It's a lot to process. But I mean, it's like what we make it mean, we can make it mean something horrible or but there's like a lot of good that happens when
mhm,
things are deconstructed. Like I think about 2020, the pandemic, like how awful that was in it,
right.
for so many people, just awful, awful, awful
Yeah, I
is an
was one of those
understatement.
people.
But
But
look what look how it affected so much change and look how
yeah,
the whole world is different now.
yeah.
And there are probably many people who hate the way it is now, but I think we're more awake than we ever have been. And we wouldn't have been on this new trajectory if it wasn't for that event. So it's like,
Hmm.
obviously it sucks when you're in it, but it's more about like, now that we've gone through it once, I feel like we'll be better prepared to handle
Oh
some of
yeah.
the waves that might be coming still.
And especially after all the fear mongering during COVID, like a lot of us realize we followed the rules because we were still in that fear based control kind of mindset. But this time coming around, everybody who woke up
Yeah.
during COVID is going to be like, nah, I'm not falling for this again. I will
Hmm.
not take your shot. I will not stay in my home. I will still soak in the sun and absorb all these energies. I will go hang out with family and friends to fill my heart full of love instead of sitting at home separated and miserable and scared. So I agree with you there. We're not going to we're not going to shut up as easy this time if
No,
it
I don't
does
think
get
so.
there. And I kind
Yeah.
of think that like the elites and the governments know that, and that's why the other predicted shutdowns never happened. Like there was a couple from last year that never happened. Shit, there was a couple from 22 that never happened. And I think it's because they're like, well, we can't do that again.
But I
Um,
wouldn't put it past them to try.
no, when they get desperate
So,
enough, they probably
yeah,
will. How are we on time?
we're good.
We're good. Okay. Do you do you want to say any predictions that you want to talk about? Because I have a whole bunch more notes and I don't want to take up the whole hour.
I feel like my notes are probably going to be some of the stuff that you have, so go through yours.
Okay. So the psychic medium, Stopher Cavins.
Hmm.
Oh God, he's amazing. He picks up on energies that are already activated and brewing. So we have categories. We have the entertainment category, science and technology category, U.S. economy, environmental, political predictions, and U.S. political poll 2024. Yeah. So I can just read through them if you want, and if you want to jump in on any comments, just cut me off. Okay. So entertainment for those of us who love entertainment and those of us. Um, Leonardo DiCaprio will win his second Oscar. Please come back and comment after his Oscar win and tell us that our beloved Stopher was correct.
Wait, this is specific. This
Yeah,
isn't
it's
like speaking
specific.
in weird parable poems.
Right. No,
Okay.
this is
All right, I'm
actual
here for it.
specific.
What else?
This one, I know so many people are indifferent about this family. I love and adore them. The Kardashians. I really do love and adore them. Um, she's like, oh. Kardashians will finally be nominated for an Emmy Award.
Okay.
After like what 15, 20 years of keeping up with the Kardashians, nothing. We're on season 3 or 4 of the Kardashians on Hulu, still nothing. So they're finally going to be nominated. He didn't imply that he thinks they're going to win though, but they will be nominated.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. Ellen DeGeneres around April or May will come out with big news. Now,
Hmm.
this isn't good news. He does sense that
Oh,
it might be somewhere around her health or something that is really going to create more of a like empathetic reaction out of people.
okay.
And
Interesting.
then I know I mixed feelings of some of these people.
Yeah, she has kind of a bad reputation.
Right now, yeah, but she
Yeah,
for the last 20 years had great reputation, and
right.
honestly we can't really trust what the mainstream tells us or doesn't tell us. So go on your discernment, people. Go on what your heart feels, and regardless of how dirty or negative or ugly people are, still please try to just show them love and respect.
Yeah. I
That's
don't know
all
the woman.
anybody.
I don't have any strong feelings either way about her, but
Yeah.
obviously, if she's another human being, I wish her well, just like
Oh,
everyone.
exactly. And that's where we need to stay.
Yeah.
Let's like celebrate each other's indifferences.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, big news from Lenny Kravitz.
Oh,
It's either political or like activism.
okay.
Uh,
He's
Late
got my
summer,
vote,
right? Yeah, me too, girl. Uh,
Mr.
um,
President.
right? I freaking love you. Okay, yeah. So Lenny Kravitz is going to come. I really feel like it's going to be positive movement towards where we're headed. And I'm really excited about that one. Okay, so science and technology. AI presents big problems with copyright, meaning in music and politics, in order to cause confusion and division around the end of the summer, beginning of fall. So AI is basically going to be copywriting and or technologically or technological cloning, like putting or saying certain things, like certain political figures are going to be out there saying off the wall things that make them look real bad or make people divide. And
But it's
but
from
it's
AI, it's not real.
mm-hmm,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're already there. This is already happening. I swear I can't tell when I'm looking at a picture on social media if it's AI or not.
really.
Oh yeah, like some of these nature photos and like they have these well, cuz I'm like I follow these accounts and then they show up on your feed, but like these beautiful like redesigned homes that are like hobbit homes, or like
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? That like with the beds with the trees over it and stuff, and it looks so beautiful, and it's like it's actually it's AI.
Oh, is it? I see. I'm so blind. I can't even tell. Like, I'm gonna be the sucker that's like, oh my God, did you hear what like
And like
so and
I
so
just
said?
heard that there was, I don't know who it was. It was a celebrity or maybe a normal person. This happened. Basically, like you can take somebody's picture and like turn it into porn. And so this was a thing because I think it like happened at a school or something, and a girl was
Oh
getting bullied and
no.
they used AI to do something like that. So it's like really there needs to be some regulation here. Like we have
Hmm.
to be able to know what's real and what's not real, and people shouldn't just have like free reign to go and creating things that have the potential to destroy people or even crumble like
Yeah.
systems, and like it's too crazy. Like
Yeah. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks in a big way. It
yeah.
sucks that like even even like the real hardworking, honest musicians that are out there putting their heart and soul and
Mhm.
creativity out for all of us to relate to and admire, and they're going to be ripped off.
Yeah.
Like, and they're going to be made to look a certain way that they just aren't, and that sucks
Right.
big
It's a
time.
tool. Let's use it again responsibly with good intention, but like
Yeah.
we have to have boundaries around it too.
Hmm.
So that's a good prediction.
Okay, this prediction is exceptionally celebratory. I am so freaking excited about this for so many people out there. The cure for HIV.
What?
Midsummer, the cure for HIV.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, I've been hearing for a few years like that's coming. I'm here for it. I am so here for everybody to live their optimal health. Cure
Dude.
for HIV, discovery and collection of data proving there is life outside Earth.
Oh, sweet. Okay. I'm here for that.
I'm so freaking here for that. And then there's going to be a lot of major lawsuits around ketamine. A lot of people use it for beneficial reasons. I know zero about ketamine. So all I'm saying here, ketamine, major lawsuit, in congressional hearings, more regulations. That's all I'm saying about that. I literally don't know anything except Matthew Perry died on it.
I don't know much about ketamine at all, but I believe it's a plant medicine.
Is it?
I don't know. Let me look
Huh.
real quick. Because I feel like I don't, I probably shouldn't speak on it because I really don't know.
No, this is what we're here for though. We're
But
here
it's
to
like
put
also,
our
also I'm not obviously like I'm not for harmful drugs, but
yeah.
there's a lot of um like going after beneficial plant medicines, like how they've suppressed
Yeah. Hell
psilocybin
yeah.
for so long and painted it as this horrible thing. So it's like what it, I always take it with a grain of salt, and
Yeah.
like we have to do our research to understand like what this medicine truly is. But I just because they say it's harmful, I don't doesn't necessarily mean I believe it.
Yeah.
And I want to
Um,
say like I've heard things about that about ketamine,
I'm gonna look
but I
into
don't
that
know.
too because I
Yeah,
strongly support plant medicines of all kinds. I don't think there's, I mean,
same.
unless it's a poison, I don't think our Mother Earth would provide these medicines if they weren't meant to be used. So,
If
all
it
for the betterment.
raises if it raises your vibration, it's good in my book.
Like, literally, if psilocybin, we should totally do an episode on plant medicines. But if
Yeah.
psilocybin, as it reconnects the synapses in your brain and produces more serotonin and all this stuff, and literally can cure depression, PTSD, all that shit. Trust me, I've had all of it, and it works. Just do your research. There's no doubt in my mind that
Yeah.
everybody should look into this stuff if they feel called. Like,
Hmm.
okay. Moving on, U.S. economy, 5% mortgage rate, which seems like it's good. He was really excited about this in his thing. So for all of you out there who have interest in purchasing a home, 5% interest mortgage. Stock market will continue to set the record highs in 2024. No crash. Like many people are predicting, there will not be a crash.
So that's kind of opposite of what Nostradamus predicted.
I know. It is. That's what
like,
that's the trajectory difference from the 1500s to now, because we aren't, we don't need to get into detail about that because I don't even know anything about the stock market either. I just know that he said it's not going to crash. Keep your investments. Okay, so the elites, this is kind of how my husband and this gentleman put it to me. The elites want you to think it's going to crash. So you sell all your stuff and then they're going to turn around and resell it to raise the stock market again, fill in their pockets. That's what he said. Because I was like, I don't even understand this one. And so that's what he said. He thinks that they're trying to scare people into selling. So don't sell, people. It's your hard work and your money. So keep it.
But keep some cash around too.
Obviously. Yes, please, please, please. Even coins. Where are we? United States. Oh, United States will continue to have a stable economy, believe it or not. Didn't expect that one, but he said it, and it feels like I put it in the notes, so it feels true to me. Environmental, we've already kind of talked about that. It's going to be this is going to be the great shakeup. 2024, the earth is going to reposition and all this stuff. Yes, she's going to slowly do it over like 10, 20 years or whatever, 50 years, I think even. But this year is going to be a huge shakeup in flooding, fires, tornadoes, hurricanes in the Gulf Coast in August, affecting Houston, Alabama, and New Orleans. Not as bad as Katrina, but pretty bad. And a major earthquake in Peru. Wow. So hey, if you
double check your vacation plans.
Yes, double check your vacation plans. Just check in with yourself. Like really listen to your intuition. If you live in one of those areas, it doesn't mean like pack up all your stuff and flee. Just really check in with yourself and listen to your guides and your higher self, and like your gut tells you everything if you can quiet the mind enough. All right.
Listen to Mother Gaia, because she's always giving us signs and energy, and just wanted to say that too.
Always. Yeah. I mean, we never really know, but we can be prepared.
Yeah.
To get up and go if we need to. The drop of a dime. All right. Political predictions. International tension between Iran and the U.S. first half of 2024. Boiling point around June. Canada politics will become quiet. Canada politics will become quiet, a bit more volatile, quite a bit more. I texted it. So quite a bit more volatile, I believe similar to the US in the division.
Okay.
And some political pressure in the Venezuela government in hopes of creating more social and economic stability in Venezuela, March or April timeframe. U.S. political stuff. Trump wins GOP nomination. Joe Biden secures Democratic nomination. However, both of these gentlemen will not be on the ballot. There will only be one or neither. And here's why. Her health. Around May, news surfaces about Trump's health. August, Biden's health. Issues become more public. We will have a new president elected in 2024. No prediction on who, but it won't be any of those gentlemen.
Okay. I'm here
and this one is a huge, big win for me and my beliefs and my rituals and, all the children with autism and ADHD and cancer and all the adults. A marijuana, big win in the United States. State legislation, federal legislation, social appeal, and even in financial. So if you are invested in marijuana or plan to be, big wins for you.
Okay.
We're going legal all across the board. Why? Because it's a medication that helps on so many freaking levels.
Why? Because it never should have been illegal in the first place. Oh my
Nope.
God.
No, I'm so excited about that one because so many people are scared to use it because of the rules. So many people with so much illness in them on so many different levels, mental, physical, like all of it. All of it. Okay.
Yes.
Anyway,
Legalize nature.
this one's random, but Joe Biden is going to crack down on the borders. I
That is
have
random.
that is so random, but he put it, so I put it. And I have my own personal beliefs about borders on anywhere in the planet because I don't believe that land can be owned and I don't believe that you can regulate who goes in and out of what land because we are all equal to the planet, which means I probably gonna need a lot of hate for this, but I don't believe in borders. But
Mhm.
I'm very world peace and equality. But I also don't know the logistics about areas and who acts in certain ways. So I don't know the threats, but I don't want to believe the threats either. So like I'm kind of delusional in that way.
I'm almost more willing to believe that one just because it is so out of left field. Like that's
Right?
really brave of him to predict that, because like you wouldn't, it doesn't really make any sense, but
Yeah. Okay.
interesting.
Trump, this one's going to be a pretty interesting for a lot of people too. I'm not going to say any of my own opinions on this because I'm not political based and I have my feelings and my intuitions about certain people and certain things, and I'm going to keep those to myself. Trump's legal issues, he has 4 indictments, and a lot of people want to see that be dealt with. But no prediction will occur before 2024 election in November per his health. That may affect him from appearing on the ballot and from any conviction for anything he has ever done.
So something's gonna happen with his health to get him out of it all. Is that what that means?
Potentially,
I wouldn't put it past him.
transition to the spirit realm, or you
Oh,
know, because I've seen people in their 90s in wheelchairs with cancer being wheeled into courthouses. Like I used to be super like ID channel person, and I've seen it happen plenty of times. So you can't tell me like, oh, he's diagnosed with like a disease or he's crippled or anything, and so they're not going to convict him of anything. It has to be more than that. At least that's my feeling on that. But
true.
I
Yeah.
also don't know. I'm not a psychic medium. None of these are my predictions, but I do have a lot of trust and faith in the people that I watch where I get my predictions because I've been watching them for years, and more often than not, they're pretty accurate.
We should save those notes and then come back to them and see like what
Okay,
actually did come true and what didn't.
I will write 2024 prediction. And
We could do like an episode at the end of the year, like looking back on our prediction, on the
that
not
would be
our
super
predictions, on the prediction.
theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is like copious amounts of predictions out there from very well trusted spiritual teachers, channelers, people who watch science and data and all that stuff. Like so if you feel called to get on YouTube, you can literally just type in 2024 predictions and in whatever specific area that you're interested in hearing predictions about. They're pretty cool to hear. Just keep in mind, don't let anything scare you because a lot of times that's what they want. And we don't have to be that human anymore. We don't have to be in our reptilian fight or flight brain. We can be in our hearts and we can like I know I'm delusional, but we can love each other through it.
We can. And also, like, just because we hear a prediction, like, doesn't mean that we have any clue as to how it's actually going to happen. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
when I was like doing some research for the episode, I was listening to this channeler who like received a prediction about 2020 and 2019 saying that like everything was going to shut down. Nobody would leave their homes. Like everyone would be disconnected, like fear. Like she saw the shut down, like schools
Mhm.
would close, things, and she was like, that will never happen. Like what? Like what, how would that even happen?
Right.
And
And then
then
it did.
and then it did. So it's like, but even the most equipped person with the knowledge, like you still have no idea what it means until it actually happens. And you're looking back in retrospect, and then you can understand it. So it's like, yeah, these predictions are out there. It's interesting to look at them, and it's always good to feel as if you're like prepared to a certain extent, but like I would never let it get to a point where it's like causing anyone to be afraid, because
Yeah.
that will lower your vibration, and we have to stay
Yeah.
high vibe, we have to stay in trust and in flow. And at the end of the day, like Bashar says, like no matter like what's going on around us, like we should still be following our highest excitement to the extent that we can in
Yeah.
any and every situation.
Abso-freaking-lutely, guys. And um, if you don't know what your highest excitement is, put on music and dance. If you like to dance, sing at the top of your lungs. I do that quite often in my bathroom because it echoes. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy. Paint, draw, color, go do cartwheels in the grass. Just do something that makes you feel good. Sometimes I'm just so drained and so just like, I don't even want to get in a better mood. And so I'll let myself bask in it for an hour or two. But then I'll put something really funny on TV because laughing is next to love the most highest vibration you can actually find. So go laugh and laugh at yourself and laugh at your friends like in a fun way. Just go have fun because ultimately this is the only you're going to be in this life, and you came here to figure out how to have fun in such a dualic, I don't
Yeah.
know if that's a word, world, you know,
Yeah. That last part.
put freaking glitter on your face. Or if you hate
Yeah.
glitter, go get your hands dirty and like
Love it.
wrench a car. Is that what guys say? Go wrench on a car. Go garden. I
Yeah.
can come up
Go
with ideas.
go start the podcast.
Yes, definitely. Please go start your
You
podcast
know?
because I could never have enough information to watch or to listen
Mhm.
to. And I'm sure that goes for like 99% of the people on this path.
Yeah. Well, those are some great predictions. It will definitely be interesting to look back and see what comes true. But we are lining up some amazing guests for you guys. So I hope you're enjoying so far. Um, DM us, hit us up. Our DMs are open. Let us know what you want to hear about. Let us know if you want to come on the show and just talk new age and the new earth and the 5D.
Been a long week.
Yeah.
Yes, please. If you have a small business, we are here to support small businesses and connecting,
Hmm.
all the networking for, the betterment of us and our world. So if you have a business related to that, please message us or comment and let us know and let's set up an interview.
Beautiful. All right, my love. Is that
Time
the
to say
show?
goodbye.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
I love you all. I love you, Melissa. Thank you again.
We'll see you guys soon. Mwah.